Hello everyone. I have not filmed in like a month or so. I just got back from my internship, so I'm trying to get settled in and back to routine and back to filming again. So I wanted to basically just make a wrap up for just summer. The books that I read during summer and what I thought about them. I don't have all of them with me right now, basically because some of them I took them from the library back in Maryland. So yeah, we'll just get started because I have about 7-8 books. So yeah, I will start with the ones that I read in Maryland, and then I will make my way to the ones that I have here. It's not in the order that I read them, but I will just mention them all. I know I started with a graphic novel, which was The Prince and the Dressmaker. I forgot her name, the name of the author. I'm sorry. I will just put a picture somewhere so that you can see and that you can just pick this up because it's such a beautiful story and you can just read it in one day. It's just beautiful. I know I have seen it a lot in BookTube. People love it. People rave about it. I'm just here to add to that because it's just, this book made me cry from happiness. It's just so beautiful. It's a story of Sebastian, and he loves to wear dresses, and he meets this dressmaker and they become best friends, and it's just beautiful. A beautiful story. I do want to just clarify just my own ignorance. I do not know if this is a gender fluid character. They may very well be, but because the story kind of, I don't know, I'm just gonna let's just go with the them pronoun. They were so cute. I can't. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story. It tackles many themes, and it explores Sebastian exploring and figuring out his sexuality or their sexuality in a really beautiful way. It's and very simplistic. They don't explain why. They just say, I just like to wear dresses, and that's totally fine. And I can't. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story. So if you can get your hands on it, go ahead. Somewhere, Amazon. I will try to link all of the books down below. I'm not sponsored by them. Whatever. But I just want you guys to get it. The next book that I read was, well, not the next book, but the one that comes to mind was An Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rogerson. I really enjoyed that book as well. The thing is, I feel like it should have, honestly, the book with 100 pages more would have been great. We needed a little bit development on tiny things, on world building, which I'm not being too picky about because the book is a standalone. So I know that we're not gonna get this huge world building, but it would have been nice to have some of the questions that I had answered, especially at the ending. There were some things that didn't make sense, but for the most part, really enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to reading A Sorcery of Thorns, which is the next book by this author, and everyone is just raving about it, so I'm really excited to get to it. The next book that I read, well, not the next book, but the next book that comes to mind, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but it was, I think it was Wonder Woman, the first Amazon. And the book basically, I don't think it's canon. I don't think that it's by DC. It's another separate book that they made about her origin and a bit of a story behind that. We get the same origin that we always know, but we get to see a more arrogant Diana in Themyscira and how that affects the people around her and such. It is heavily implied that she's in love with one of her fellow Amazons, and I really enjoyed that aspect of the book. it's not a book, it's a graphic novel. I'm sorry for not specifying, but really, really enjoyed it. That aspect as a whole, it felt like a book that had the purpose to give me a lesson. So I do think that this book may be good for younger audiences, but it does have some graphic scenes, some violent scenes. So overall, although I did enjoy some aspects of it, I think that the book is a bit messed up in that way. It deals with very juvenile themes, so not being arrogant and always being humble and being nice to your fellow Amazons or people around you. So it felt very childish, but at the same time it contained some scenes, some violent scenes when it comes to battles and competitions that I don't think would be suitable for younger audiences. So I don't know, take of that what you will. I don't think it's canon. Well, it isn't canon. It's not a DC comic. So if you want something from Wonder Woman, just go and research just other better comics from the Wonder Woman. If you want a video about that, I can totally make that for you guys. So just leave it down below and I will make a guide for Wonder Woman comics that are actually worth it. So yeah. After that, I read Catwoman Soul Stealer by Sarah J. Maas. This book would have been great if it wasn't pitched as a Catwoman inspired book. For the most part, again, I really enjoyed it, but there was a point in which I decided I'm just gonna stop thinking about this as a Catwoman book and just think about something else. I don't know. We do follow Selena and how she goes with Harley Quinn and with Poison Ivy, and we have so many iconic characters that didn't feel like themselves. We have a Poison Ivy that is super nice and super, I don't know, it just felt off. Poison Ivy is a character that she's very sultry and she is very mean and calculating, and you know, she's very manipulative. And I didn't get to see all of that aspects of that character, which that is why this series in general, the series, the DC Icon series, it's a hit or miss for me, because I really did enjoy the Wonder Woman one, but for this one, it's just when you work with characters that are not your own, you need to really keep in mind that there are some things that are essential for these characters. So yeah, didn't really like I don't know, I was kind of disappointed, that's the thing. So the next book that comes to mind is The Wicked King by Holly Black. I had been looking forward to reading this because I had heard such amazing things, and it did not disappoint. It was really, really good. I did kind of know the ending because this book came out like a year ago, or a little bit over or less a year ago, and people just talk on Twitter about it, and at this point I can't be too picky. I can't be like, don't spoil me. It's been a while. It was pretty quick. It's pretty short book, and I enjoyed Jude a lot more in this. I felt like on The Cruel Prince, Jude was a very unlikable character. I did not like her at all. I really liked her reasoning and her actions in this one. Really, I don't remember much of it, if I'm honest. I just remember that I really, really enjoyed Jude's character, and her development on this one. Do wish that Carden would have been more present. He wasn't as present as I thought he would be, and I am excited to see what is going to happen in Queen of Nothing. I think that book is coming out this year or in the beginning of the next year, so we will see how that goes. And this cover is just beautiful, guys. A beautiful cover. Also, I'm really looking forward to reading more from Holly Black. There is another, I think it's a standalone book from her that I really, really want to get to, so hopefully I will read it soon. I also read Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. I honestly don't remember that much about this. I do think that there wasn't as much action in this one as the previous one. I think that this, being a middle book, it's a lot of investigating, a lot of figuring things out, a lot of thinking, a lot of conversations, of course, but there wasn't much that stood out to me that actually happened. The ending, I didn't really enjoy it. If I'm honest, the character that was affected by the end, I wasn't shocked. I didn't cry. I know that people were. But yeah, Ty though. The next book that I read was Red, White, and Royal Blue. This book has been talked about all this summer, and I think spring too. And I just wanted to get to it, and I am so glad I did. This was such an amazing and cute read. I really don't have any issues, and if I did, I don't remember them, because I don't know, I just really liked it. It's a very fluffy read, a quick one too. It's very fast paced, and I just love the dynamic between Henry and Alex. Loved it. Loved it. And the last book that I'm going to be talking about today is Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. I really want to make a video discussing this because this was the classic of the month for July. This is my least favorite Jane Austen book. It was long, it was kind of tedious. I don't understand why this was her favorite character to write, because I feel like Fanny was a very boring character. She barely did anything. I don't know. I feel like she was... It's weird. I don't know what... I guess I talked about it more on my Goodreads, but I really, really want to make a big discussion about this book. So I'm gonna hold off on it right now, and I'm gonna make a video about it just dedicated to discussing this book because I have so much to say about it.